welcome to Coffee Convo Wednesday. Hey there, I'm Cindy Simmons and this is Coffee Convo Wednesday. We have a new set today because of Hurricane Irma. Thanks, Hurricane Irma. So, oddly enough, I did not coordinate my blouse to match the Frozen set here, but all right, let's get to it. It's Coffee Convo Wednesday. I'm Cindy. I will be your host, and a big fat cheers to you this morning. Good morning. This is the Hurricane Irma edition. Why? Because I live in Florida. More specifically, I live in Orlando, Florida. And this is the size of a coffee mug I'm going to need today. Thanks to my girlfriend Desiree who got me this a while ago. And yeah, that was filled to the brim with coffee, and that is how much coffee I need to make up for the large amount of stress and the lack of coffee I haven't had over the last couple of days. So, really, I feel like there should be something else in here this morning besides coffee, because it has been a stressful couple of days. All right. Let's get to it. If this is your first time joining me here on Coffee Convo Wednesday, and even if it's not, why don't you comment below and let me know where you're watching from, because I know we have people here in Florida where we live now, back in Georgia where I used to live, back in Los Angeles and Nashville where I also used to live, and then people all over the United States. So a good morning and a cheers to you and happy Coffee Convo Wednesday. Why am I in a different room, a different set? Because we live in Orlando, Florida, and we just went through our first hurricane, Hurricane Irma, and we have no power, literally no power, which means we've had no power, we've had no internet, no cell service, no coffee, no anything, no air conditioning, and all of that. I'm going to tell you the whole story of how this all happened and what went down. So right now we're at one of my best friend's house, who also lives in Orlando. They got their power back yesterday morning, so we're in their guest house, and this is also doubles as their kids' playroom. So I thought it would be fun to hang out with the little Navi babies from Pandora, and also the Frozen set, because her sweet daughter Grace has this set. So of course my girls are over here and playing and having a blast. I think they're just so happy to be out of a house that doesn't have power. All right, let's get to it. Hurricane Irma hit many places over the last couple days. It started, I guess, Sunday night, but I want to kind of take you back to pre-Hurricane Irma. So last week when I talked to you guys on Coffee Convo, hold on, I'm going to put this down. I have like a little set here, a little stand, a little Frozen stand. So last week when I talked to you guys, I believe the last thing I said was, yes, we're good. We're going back to stay with some friends in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are piecing out of Florida and going. Well, I started talking to a bunch of people here in Central Florida, and it seemed like I was maybe freaking out because this was my first hurricane, and a lot of them were saying, hey, we're all staying. So we started talking about it, even though we had so many amazing friends who offered up their homes in Atlanta. We started weighing out the pros and cons, and we were thinking like, wow, okay, so we can go and that'll be good, but like, okay, it's taking what would normally be like a 7-hour drive. It's taking people like, 10 to 15 hours to get there. People are running out of gas. And then we thought, well, how is it going to be getting back? So we talked about all of that and just thought, okay, maybe we can hunker down here. So we chose to hunker down. And there was a lot more that went into it, just, than that, but so that's the first thing we're going to talk about today on Coffee Convo Wednesday. The pre-hurricane, I call it party, which I need to be honest, because when I talked to you guys last Wednesday on Coffee Convo Wednesday, I was good. We were peacing out. We were leaving. I felt good. Like I felt comfortable. Then we chose to stay, and then the anxiety started to build, mostly because I started watching national weather news. Doesn't matter the network, but I started watching national weather news. And I started getting like all of this anxiety, like building up, like it almost, I'm really embarrassed to admit this, but I was kind of terrified, and call it irrational fear, call it my first hurricane, call it whatever you want, judge away. I'm okay with admitting I totally started freaking out. So much so, and here's where you can laugh because I am more than willing and happy to laugh at myself. I always do. I went to the Walmart and I bought some life vests. And you're like, what? Really? Yes, I went to the Walmart and I bought some life vests because I watched what happened in Houston. And so in my irrational brain, my heart was breaking for all of those people in Houston, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, would a life jacket even save me? So I did. I bought life jackets for the entire family. And I should be embarrassed to admit that, but I'm not. I told you it's irrational fear. So I got life jackets. I made like little waterproof name tags with all of our information to hang around our neck, like on necklaces, like lanyards. No joke. I did all of this. I had bicycle helmets in our safe room, which was our master closet. I was completely paralyzed with fear. And then something happened. So the hurricane came Sunday night. Something happened Saturday morning. I got up and I had been praying hard, y'all, like praying hard, saying, okay, God, I just need some peace. I know that there's this big storm coming and I need you to calm me because I do not feel calm at all. And I think it's probably irrational, but I don't feel calm. So I woke up Saturday morning, I turned on the news report, and this guy, oh goodness, I can't remember his name, but Brian something, oh, I've just now blanked, a news reporter, a weather reporter here on a local station in Orlando, and he was like, look, everything is going to be okay. It's like he was speaking to me. He's like, if I'm telling you it's okay, and I have children and a wife, and everyone here at the news station, I'm going to mess it up, TVF, VTF, BTV, FTV, so sorry, I should have planned that better. But it's like he was speaking to me, and I felt like God was like, here's Mr. Brian, the weather reporter, and he is going to make you feel better, and I'm going to speak through him. And he did, because I was watching him like this. Yes, Brian, the weather reporter, I am all about what you're saying, and I feel better. So I got out of bed, because that was literally the first thing I did on Saturday morning. I said to the family, we're going to Disney Springs without our life jackets. We're going to Disney Springs, and we're going to do some retail therapy, and we're going to walk around. And it was such a beautiful day on Saturday. We did. We piled in the car, drove over to Disney Springs, because we're like 20-something minutes away, and I felt amazing. So all day, Saturday night, Sunday, just felt great. Like, okay, I'm not even stressed out anymore. I did keep the life jackets just in case. I know you're still all laughing. And it's okay, like I said, judge and laugh away, because it is ridiculous and irrational, but that's me, I guess. So the hurricane comes on Sunday night, and I have now probably eaten my body weight in all of the hurricane snacks. Like, every single thing we bought for the hurricane, I'm like, I don't know what was wrong with me. Oh, yes, I do. It's called stress eating, and that's what I did. I ate at Disney Springs. I ate all of our hurricane snacks. I ate everything in the house. I was making like our frozen pizzas, like everything that I thought needed to be cooked. I was making it so I could keep it in the fridge, and then plus we bought a bunch of, non-perishable packaged items that I was shoveling in my mouth. So much so I posted a couple of memes here on Facebook and then on my Instagram page, just kind of making fun of the fact that the hurricane hadn't even hit yet, and almost all of our hurricane snacks were gone because they were in my belly. So let's go to topic number 2, the middle of my first hurricane. So I grew up in Los Angeles, and we had earthquakes. So I could do an earthquake with the best of them because I had been through so many. But I'd never been through a hurricane before, a tornado, or any of that. So that goes back to the whole irrational, I bought life jackets craziness. So the hurricane comes on Sunday night, and I've loaded up my Mama Jane, who lives with us, and our 2 daughters into the master closet, because that is where we decided the safe place was going to be. I had their bicycle helmets, and I had the life jackets. We all had our necklaces. We had our shoes in the closet. We were prepared in my head. We're prepared for Hurricane Irma. Yeah, bring it on, Hurricane Irma. So about 2 o'clock in the morning, no, maybe it was before that, about 1:30, the power finally goes out. And I was thinking, man, I feel pretty lucky because a lot of people had already lost power in Florida. So ours didn't go out till about 1:30. And they said it was going to be bad between like 2 and 3. And y'all, I am not going to lie. That wind and rain was some of the scariest stuff I have ever heard. So let me set the scene for you in our house. We are in a rental house right now because we are building a house here in Orlando because my mom lives with us. And so our house isn't going to be ready until like probably end of January, maybe now longer with the hurricane. So let's just say February. So we're in a rental house, and it has carpet in the bedrooms. And the, excuse me, the master bedroom, we took my mom's mattresses because they were bigger, leaned them up against the windows. We had put blocked up the windows. I mean, we had everything covered because that was going to be our safe room with the closet. So we brought in bottled water. So I have my Mama Jane and the girls in the closet with all of the supplies. And I wake my husband up because somehow, unbelievable, but not really, because it's my husband and I love him. But like, I'm in bed stressing out, and my husband's like this. Shoo. I mean, he is sawing logs through all of the crazy sound and the noise and the wind and the rain. And I can just hear the wind. I can hear things like slamming against the side of the house, on the roof. And I'm thinking, it's going to be like Wizard of Oz. And I'm Dorothy, and we are all flying away, because this is where my irrational brain went. So I went from completely irrational to calm all day Saturday and Sunday. But then when it was hitting, I'm sitting in the bed like this, like I'm going into labor or something. And my husband sawing logs, and my mom and the girls are in the closet bedroom all sleeping, which was good because that meant they had peace. I'm the crazy one sitting in bed like insane. So about 2 o'clock, I wake my husband up. I said, it's going to get bad. We all need to go in the closet. So there's 5 of us in this small little walk-in bedroom closet. And I'm on the floor, like in the fetal position, because that's only the amount of room that I had. And I guess we must have drifted off, which was good. But I woke up and I was like, why are my feet wet? My feet feel wet. So and I have socks on because our tennis shoes were right there. And I'm thinking, wow, my feet feel wet. So I'm convinced that just one of our bottled waters that we had brought in the closet had spilled. So I start feeling on the floor, and I'm like, there is not one bottled water in here. It's right outside of the door. What is wet? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. The water is leaking in the house. So the side of the house where we're in, this closet, the whole right side of the house is where I could hear all of the wind and the rain pounding. I mean, pounding like this noise I've never heard before. Scary, scary stuff. And I realized, oh my goodness, water is leaking in to the closet. Now, it's not like flooding, and it's not flooding at all, but I can feel that there's water on the carpet. I'm like, oh man, really? So Eric, my husband, is like, what's going on? I'm like, there's something leaking. Like, the water is leaking into the closet. The floor is all wet. Like, my socks are soaking wet. So he gets up and he goes out into our master bedroom. So remember, I told you we had 2 mattresses, my mom's 2 queen mattresses, up against like the window here. I'm not at my house, but up against the window, because in our heads we're thinking if anything flies through the window, then we'll have the big mattresses covering the windows. Well, the entire master bedroom floor, about, I don't know, what is that, like 2 feet in, all the water got in on the floor. So the carpet is all soaked for 2 feet. And guess what's on top of the carpet? Mama Jane's mattresses. Yeah. So guess what's wet? Yeah, the mattresses, like at least 1.5 feet of the mattresses. And all along all of the master bedroom, the carpet soaking wet. So we go back to sleep and, wake up in the morning, and then we go out, and here in Mom's bedroom under her window, wet. The girls' bedroom underneath their window, wet. In this one guest bedroom at the front of the house where we sort of set up Mom's living room, she had a couch and a TV in there. Yeah, it's wet. So pretty much the perimeter of our house for like 1.5 feet, 2 feet is wet. And so we're trying to get the mattress out in the morning. But, all of Monday is still like blowing wind and rain, and it's still like craziness. And so every time I'd go try to walk by the window to see it was wet, I'd be stepping in water again. And there is nothing grosser than wet carpet water, right? And then you step it in your socks, and you're like, really? So I went through, I'm sure, 3 or 4 pairs of socks. So that was during the hurricane. So all in all, and the eye was right over Orlando. And that's, I think, what started freaking me out on late Sunday night, overnight Monday, because I'm watching the news and you can just see the eye of Irma just going right through Orlando. And so you're watching that and you're like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But miraculously, other than that really super annoying water damage and losing the mattresses and wet socks, which on wet socks, we're okay. Like, we're all okay. And guess what? When you compare it, and I know it's just my story and it's not, we don't have to compare, but yeah, you have to, because you have to gain perspective. And when you compare it to the people who have suffered in Miami and the Keys and Jacksonville and Naples, and I'm sure I'm missing cities, and then even talk about Houston still, like those people are going to take forever to recover. And so, yes, is that a major inconvenience? Yes, we have to figure out how to go buy new mattresses. We still don't have power. We're 3 days in, and we have no power, which is why I'm at one of my best friend's house, who's amazing, and let us use their guest house. We're going to have to, they're going over to the house today. My husband's at the rental house, and there's a contractor over there, and they're going to have to lift up all the carpets. I'm not even sure where we're going to go, because once they start pulling up all of the carpet and all of that, and yes, because we don't have power, pretty much everything in the fridge and the freezer is gone, so we'll have to make a grocery store run. All of those things, and no power, and no cell service, and no coffee. All of those things have been super inconvenient, but you know what? It just kind of is what it is. We had our first hot meal last night because we drove around. We were like, so I just started binge watching, my husband and I did, because we used to live in the neighborhood where a bunch of Walking Dead cast members lived back in Atlanta, but we never saw the show. So a couple months ago, we decided to finally binge watch The Walking Dead. Y'all, that's what we were. We were like characters on The Walking Dead, because we were driving around, my husband and I, like the next day we're driving around, like scavenging for food and coffee and just trying to see what the damage was. And I looked and I go, oh my goodness, we're like the people on The Walking Dead. We're trying to find somewhere with food. Y'all, it hadn't even been like 24 hours. I'm like, I need coffee, honey. I need some food. He's like, we have food at the house. I'm like, yes, but I kind of ate all of our hurricane snacks. Okay, maybe not all, but a lot. So we find one gas station that is open that has coffee. And now it's hot in our house because we don't have any power, and then it's humid, and then there's like the water soaking on the floor. So now it's like starting to stink. I am in this gas station acting like I just went to like the Palace of Versailles in Paris, France. And I'm like, this is the best gas station ever. It's like a Speedway or something. So they have like a beer fridge like you can walk into. I go into the beer fridge and I'm looking at my husband, I'm like, it's so cool in here. Can we just live in the beer fridge? And he's dying laughing because he feels the same way, because we're just hot and we're over not having power. And at that point, it was only like, I don't know, maybe 24 hours. But we're like, we can live here in the beer fridge and the girls would be fine and we'd all be so happy because it's so cool in here. Not that I'm dramatic or anything. So we go outside of the beer fridge and I have my cup of coffee, and it was horrible. I'm usually not a coffee snob, but that coffee was bad, y'all. But it's okay, because beggars can't be choosers, right? And I look at my husband, I'm like, I don't want to go home, honey. There's no power there. And here we have snacks and beer and drinks and food and bad coffee. And this guy walks by me. He starts laughing, goes, I don't want to go home either. I have twins at home. Little twins. And I started laughing. I was like, you win. I feel your pain. He's like, I feel your pain. And we're just like, Hurricane Irma will not win. And this total stranger and I are like dying laughing. And my husband is just looking at me like, you guys are weird. Weirdos. Freaks. So, yeah. So that's my first hurricane. We drove around and there was a lot of tree damage, lots of trees down. In fact, right in front of our new house that we're building, we went, and most of our new neighborhood had power the entire time, which was amazing. And we did lose this beautiful big oak tree right outside of our house. I mean, such a beautiful tree, but that's okay. But I know, like, there are people still besides us that still don't have power, and we're 3 days in now. And so I read something from the energy company here in Orlando that said it could be Sunday before we get power. Y'all, the kids are out of school. Why? Because the school's right down the street from our house and it does not have power. That means they were out Friday, Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. That's 4 days in that the kids have been home with no power. You feeling me? You feeling me? But guess what? Today, you don't hear them, right? You're like, well, where are your children, Cindy? I'm not wondering that because they're outside right now because my friend's house has a pool. So I am in here with air conditioning and coffee, power, internet, and cell service, which is the greatest thing ever. And 3 days in, they're at the pool. So we are pretty lucky and pretty blessed. Okay, so number 3 on the list, the hurricane aftermath. So I've kind of touched on that. We have no power, no internet, no cell service, no coffee at the rental house right now. And they're going to have to pull up all of the carpet that was damaged. And that's all going to stink because I'm not kind of even sure what our plan is going to be because we're not going to be able to stay in the house. And we're already down mom's mattresses because she's in the girls' room right now. So we're all kind of like shifted around. But if they're going to pull up all the carpet and we still don't have power, like they can't dry anything. So they're pulling up the carpet to assess the damage today, but then they can't dry anything yet because they can't plug anything in because we don't have power. Again, minor annoyances, and we will figure it out because we have a home, we have each other, and we have friends who let me put my coffee cups on their daughter's Frozen plaything. And we have a place to go, and we're alive, and so many people have it way worse than we do. So this is kind of a minor annoyance and a pain in the butt. And yes, financially it's going to stink and maybe our insurance will cover it. I don't know. But all of those things, it's just kind of what it is. It's our first hurricane. We survived it. And now I feel like I've done one. And now I can, so I did the earthquakes growing up in California. And now I've done tornadoes and hurricanes. So I feel like, check, natural disasters. I'm good for a while. Even though I know this is pretty much the start of hurricane season. So there's that. And while I'm thinking about it, shout out to all of the first responders, people who are doing cleanup right now, all the people trying to get gas and supplies into the really bad hit areas. Like I said, in South Florida and along the coast, there's still a bunch of people down there that are suffering. And so they need our thoughts and prayers, not just, you know, our tiny minor inconveniences here. That is like chump change compared to what they are going through right now. So thank you to the first responders. Thank you to everyone who has been sending well wishes to our family. We receive them and we send many thanks back to you guys. It's been crazy, and you know, I kind of make fun of all this really just to kind of keep it in perspective, because we could be super sad and say, yes, we might be displaced for a little while they figure out the wet carpet throughout the house and the whole no power thing and the kids home. Sure, all that stinks. But like I said, it's all perspective, and we're good and we're happy, and we have friends who are super awesome and taking care of us during this time, and we'll figure it out. Right now, I want to focus on just staying positive and sending my thoughts and prayers and however we can help the people in South Florida, because they got really hit, and still continuing to pray and do what we can to help the people in Houston, because those are the people who really need it. I'm just here sharing stories with you to make you guys laugh. And you know, it's kind of like that saying, you got to laugh to keep from crying, right? This is all good. We're all good, and we're going to be totally fine. And because of that, and because I love coffee so much, I'm bringing 2 coffee gift cards for you today, because it's been like 3 days since I had a good cup of coffee, and thanks to our family friends here, I'm drinking a big, ginormous cup of happy today because I have power and all of the good things, like the coffee. I have all the things. So I'm going to hook you guys up with 2 people with free coffee. Just comment below and tell me where you're watching from. And then tag a friend who has never seen Coffee Convo Wednesday, and you're like, hey, I want to tell them about the show, because we need to spread the Coffee Convo Wednesday love. So tell them about Coffee Convo Wednesday. You just need to tag one person down below, and then I will pick a winner on Friday. What is the date? I think I wrote that. The 13th? Is that right? No, 15th. Y'all, I'm so tired and I'm so off. But on Friday at 5 p.m., so I don't know when you're watching this, but Friday at 5 p.m., we'll pick 2 winners. You just tag one person below. Let me know where you're watching Coffee Convo Wednesday from, and we'll hook you up with a chance for some free coffee. Because sometimes coffee, the little things in life, those are the things you have to focus on and be silly about, because no, coffee is not important. Okay, coffee is kind of important. And it's just fun to be silly and stay positive and laugh during crazy times like this. So for all y'all out there that do not have power, I feel you. I hope that we get it before Sunday and that we really don't have to be without power until Sunday. But if that's the worst thing that happens to us, we are good, you guys. We are good. So thanks for hanging out with me on Coffee Convo Wednesday. Keep up with me. I'm having power now, so I have internet, and I'm back on social media. So follow me on Instagram, Twitter, here on Facebook and Snapchat. It's at Cindy A. Simmons or at Surviving Mommy. I'm also on YouTube. Just search Cindy Simmons. And I told you last week that my youngest daughter, Luna, has her new YouTube channel called Lululand. So you can follow both of us there, which would be a lot of fun. So thank you again for your kindness and reaching out and your support and being so awesome during this crazy Hurricane Irma. And prayers and big thoughts to everyone who is going through a much more difficult time than us here. We are thinking about you and lifting y'all up in prayer. And I just appreciate you guys for checking in on me and our family. You guys have been loyal and so wonderful during this whole time. And thanks for hanging out with me on Coffee Convo Wednesday. And big coffee mug time. And don't forget, if you find a big obnoxious coffee mug and you want to send it to me, shoot me an email, cindy@cindysimmons.com. I will send you an address. You send me a big coffee mug, I'll send you a t-shirt. So be well and be kind to each other during this time. As I always say, spread kindness like Nutella. Nutella would be good right about now. And good luck on winning some free coffee. And until next week, we will go back to no more hurricane talk. We will go back to normal Coffee Convo Wednesday. Have a great week, everyone. Cheers.